Midnight/4:36. Focus Falkirk. Police corruption. Published on September 29, 2017. This cop trumped up charges against me and I went to jail. Made claims to person or persons that I was a pedophile. Also claimed I kill dogs. Who did she claim this to? Only a child abuse victim whom now adult and was working with me in session to help heal the pain, to which we worked well, and I have videos of the man's relief and change for the better. What was the reason for this constable's contravention of the office of constable? Lots of reasons that I will not at this time mention as to the massive prosecution by way of a bill of criminal letter being raised against her for this and more. You should see what the cops tried to do to us tonight. 30/09/2017. Caught red-handed perverting the course of justice with the attempt to defeat the ends of justice, contravention of the Police Scotland Act 1967. Contravention of the Police Fire Reform Scotland Act 2012. Failure to report and record crime. Failure to protect a vulnerable adult with disability. Breach of the peace. Contravention of the office of constable. Contravention of police powers under the Civic Government Scotland Act 1984-85. Acting in concert with the perpetrators of the abuse and lying to protect the people that has been preempted to continue with lamentable applaud regardless of how many 999-101 calls that have been made with regards to the abusers of myself and a girl with disability. I have 22 terabytes of evidence. No department within the police service of Scotland want the evidence. They are currently trying to make out that I'm the one that's mental, that old chestnut. Just as well I've recorded for the last 10 years of our lives and have clean bill of health from private assessments. The police still do not get the amount of preparation I have made to get to this day. What they have asked from people has sent one abuse victim off his head and is currently in Ward 3 of Falkirk Royal Infirmary, Psychiatric Unit. The family of abusers where I have evidence from the 2nd of February 2017 to date and who are the current focus of tonight's perversion of the course of justice by the police are just as much victims of the police's brutal lies as we are. And they are far too dumb to pull it off. Each time we are abused by anyone, another video of police corrupting people around us both will be posted. Persecution and torture by the state. In July 2017 I reported this cop in the video for spreading the rumor that I was a pedophile. I waited until I had enough video evidence of these claims being told to me by a few. However, it might be interesting to note that the main prosecution witness against this cop is the very same guy that is now in the hospital. Who's doing what to who? This all stinks. Tomorrow we will open our curtains and door and the very same abuse will fire right up again. It's been the way for years. Yes, I have the evidence. At no time have I reacted and the cops are well confused how we both managed to maintain level heads throughout and not bringing ourselves into conflict. Anyway, till the next time. Why won't the police put me through to the corruption unit? I have been trying to get there for years. Job done. Persecution and torture by the state. Comments 15 CSA The final arrangements. Top comments. Police Scotland victim. Police Scotland victim 1 month ago. Mind and keep track of all your lies. Reply Police Scotland victim. Angela MacLeod 1 month ago. Police Scotland victim well said, like glad someone else has seen through him. He cracks me up like he is so a funny face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy. Reply to Angela MacLeod. Cloe Baird. Cloe Baird 2 days ago. Or actually off your head. Roll on February 1st to our landlord gets shot of us pair. Reply Cloe Baird. CSA The final arrangements 1 day ago. Did the police tell you to say that? You're right, there is not 16 fiber optic HD cameras around the house, there is 19. These marvels along with other tricks and treats I can refute every single claim made. Good that you identify yourself. Everything that I do and all that I have done will be everywhere by springtime. The end of a 10-year stint into child abuse. You underestimate people. One simple question for you. If a man and woman move to a new place, paint fences for free, do work for others for free, train dogs for free, share lots of advice, goodwill and cheer with all, never as much as swears at anyone, let alone display the behavior shown to himself. Is the perfect gentleman to all age groups, offers advice and business ideas to the unemployed, does a shed load of work for a landlord, is a carer for a girl repeatedly raped as a child and beaten, burned, locked up in cupboards, who finds me as the safest man on the planet and does and has trusted me with her innermost fears, abused by all for speaking out, hammered by the police for seeking remedy in such a way that the modus operandi that has been played out over the years by all is now here. In this rat-infested hellhole, whilst at all time being a perfect gentleman to all. Great to have every conversation I have had with everyone recorded. Great that I have so much C.C.T.B that easily shows who we are and how we live as decent, upstanding people. Great that I have every last detail recorded perfectly, as opposed to the claptrap that has tried to be set in stone in order to create this diatribe of puerile and pugnacious effort to have myself and my carer sectioned and jagged so that all our very real evidence goes under a carpet, allowing hundreds to escape justice. Great that I am raising personal injury claims against all that made a claim that would help have us condemned. Great that I have raised an action at the European Court of Community Justice for persecution and torture by the state anent child abuse. Great that the case has been accepted. Great that the anti-corruption unit is investigating the police that caused all this. Great that the professional standards body of the police are also involved in the investigation into corrupt cops. Great that I have won 148 cases at court out of 148. Great I was able to prove the cops were lying and setting me up all the time. Great that I have read law for 36 years. Great that I have done cases all over Scotland since the age of 17. Great that I decided to move here and prepared a psychological operation that would catch the police and everybody out. Great that you and all others have thought for all this time that I live here. Great that I have my own place. Great that I travel to put care in place at Kimberly's house, giving the impression that we are a couple who live together at the house, fooling everyone. Great that it all worked out and that everyone treated Kimberly and I in such a terrible, sickening way. Great that I can prove I have never lived here. Great that thanks to the dumbest cops on the planet that I have caught out everyone. Great that I caught you personally deviant by claiming to a girl with limited understanding that you wanted to be a friend. Great that we set up Facebook just to weed all out of the woodwork. Great that after all seeing us being abused in videos 234 then 60 comments were made, a lot directing venom at us both and our friend. Great that out of nearly 300 comments not one single comment referred to the child abuse aspect in the video. Great that in not one single video or audio recording for over 10 years will you find any aspect that would suggest all the crap that has been told to you lot to report to councils and police in order to create all that you all have done to us. Great that the whole planet will be focused on Falkirk for my covered abilities and endurance. Great that I have over 400 victims of child abuse walking around that can identify the rapists. Great how all of this is connected. Great that Kimberly has had the strength to play the role that she has. Great that we have God on our side. Great that we never sold our souls to have the same life as those around us. Even greater is how now this is all at an end. Great day for justice and a great day for those who walk in the footsteps of God. Great that all of you will be getting brought to court to justify all the claims against us both. That is nothing more than a complete illusion for start to finish. Great that so many people over a 10-year period was caught out as to my investigative processes. You see, all I had to do was make everyone believe that I live here, where the police would do their dirty work working with their partners, which utilizes all of you to behave and make claims against us in the way you have. Great that you called me a zoomer, a weirdo and all other stuff taken from all Facebook pages. Great how in mitigation this is all now evidence. Great day for me and a great day for Kimberly. Great that this will be over all press. Great that I never once come across a clever person who could have well sussed me out. Great that people in a collective say and do things that they think will never be held to account for. Great that I was accepted at the bar at Lanark Sheriff Court in 2015 by a Sheriff Pattinson as having an equality of arms. Great that I have worked my backside off to have all this in plain sight. Great that once you read this you will make a comment under 20 words that is full of adverb which for reasons you think are known only to yourself will raise questions to my personal mental health and the fact that I am some kind of nutter. Great that all attacks on us both, all claims made will be explored in court. Great that you all tried to make out all that you have as this is perfect mitigation. Great that there is not one single comment on child abuse. Great that everyone attacked us both and friends for simply walking a dog. Great all ignored the important factors that a girl with disability, 2 carers and 2 dogs that are being trained for a girl with disability, came under such a shocking and violent attack from. Eventually 5 men and a woman in which a small dog was launched into the air with a violent kick to the ribs, then a boast that he hoped the dog's ribs were sore. Unbelievable. Great that when it was reported on Facebook where all was appalled at what had happened, great that a video then went up where all that was appalled started abusing the owner of the dog with not a single mention of the content of the video. Great that all evidence has been copied 11 times over. Great that the courts are taking all evidence from me. Great that I can prove everything, and it's great how you all helped us both getting remedies for the sins of the past. Great that I have the patience and the wisdom to turn the other cheek at all times. This has only been possible with a massive thanks to all that has went against us over the last 10 years. If you do have more nonsense to add, then please do. All sorts of abuse, claims of me being mental violent or whatever the flavor you choose for us for that particular day, welcome and tolerated. Just remember the girl with disability who lives alone and always has done since 02/02/2017 is terrified from all of you, and I would ask that you refrain from abusing the girl any longer. Poor wee thing was abused terribly as a child. She escaped from the wardrobe after 16 years of hell. Her father took her away from the entire family as to the extent of the abuse and divorced his wife. He never recovered and died only age 42. Kimberly at the age of 18 came under my wing and her internal life has been transformed as a result. Do you think that anyone anywhere is going to believe you other than corrupt cops who know none of it is true? They know it's not, as they created it, and I have 11 copies now of 22 terabyte of solid irrefutable evidence that holds all for 10 years to account. A lawyer at this stage of the game would advise you to remain silent. He'll do the same, although I am not holding up much hope. In my opinion, people who do not hold onto this right go to jail. Reply CSA the final arrangements 1 day ago. I do not live there. Hook, line, sinker. Reply CSA the final arrangements. Cloe Baird. Cloe Baird 1 day ago. CSA the final arrangements, ha 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 ha. You're such a liar. You do stay there, I see you all the time, and I only added her to see what poison she was going to spout on Facebook like you seem to do here. Where do your cameras record? How far afield do they go? Sureki, you don't need 19 cameras recording your property. Kimberly has never caused hassle for anyone, it's just you. You got a young girl lifted and recorded it. You are sick, evil, and manipulating. The police are never away, so for someone that is so struck on getting the police, why are they there all the time? None if the neighbors can stand you. In fact, some of them want to sell their house to get away from you. Cloe Baird. CSA the final arrangements. CSA the final arrangements 1 day ago. I can justify all I say, I hope you can before a court. Kimberly is not like the scum that terrorizes her, so you will not. We are so well onto the lot of yous. Even the separation of blame upon us is a clear indication that you are being led by the rotten mob of Scotland. No, Kimberly and I are fair, honest and upstanding. Thanks for the info on the selling of houses. That's great for dragging yet more to court in order to justify why they would want to sell their houses. As Kimberly and I have always been upstanding. Great day for child abuse victims that seek to get all that would wish to help in the cover-up of child abuse. All others are smart enough to keep away from stupid comments, but you just don't know when the game is up. Thanks for this additional info that will only go to show the extent of what this is really all about, so the effort to ruin myself will all come to light. Please feel free to continue to think that you are in some way good at this. Oh, and Kimberly cannot stand any of you for wielding the police's baton. Reply Cloe Baird 1 day ago. CSA the final arrangements, ha ha ha, or crazy. I'm not saying anything about Kimberly, I'm talking about you, you're obsessed with the police. So answer, where do your cameras record? Reply CSA, the final arrangements 8 minutes ago. On a hard drive. And just what is it that makes you say I am crazy? Only you and a child abuser say that? Weird that, eh? High rate of suicide and attempts in this hole? Wonder why that is. How does a whole entire village all go onto the same modus operandi as the cops would wish to have written up about me? Out to ruin lives? I am Kimberly, you fruitcake. You look weird, CSA, the final arrangements. P.o.l.i.c.e. Scotland, P.o.l.i.c.e. Scotland. 2 months ago. Tonight we opened our curtains and as predicted the pervert was looking in right away. Positioning himself to get a better view, and when we closed them again he goes away. All on camera. Why did you let him out, Inspector? Now there's a question I am going to enjoy the answer to. Reply 1, P.o.l.i.c.e. Scotland, Cloe, baird. 1 month ago. P.o.l.i.c.e. Scotland, you're fucking deluded, pal. Cloe, baird. Angela MacLeod. Angela MacLeod. 1 month ago. I agree, Cloe, but that's what you call paranoid freak. That's a side effect of smoking of drugs, especially with what he smokes. The place reeks of it all the time uptown as well, especially at the bus station on Tuesday, lol, but that's him, a prisoner and whatever. Cloe, baird. 1 month ago. Angela MacLeod, correct. Complete weirdo, eh? No wonder he's had so many addresses. Total worst yin and I, the place is always stinking. 5 bellies replied. I know my hovel is a shit tip and I dress like a tramp. I stink and I am always in the same clothes, and I am worse than them, but I am working for folk that let me take drugs, drink every day, knock 7 bells out of the children, scream the place down on a day-to-day basis, but all is alright as I'm protected. Angela MacLeod. 1 month ago. Cloe, baird. Prisoners I away uptown the day starting he usual pish way folk and it all getting all recorded by the town's cameras again, lol, he needs to realize that he looks a complete idiot in front of everyone. Angela MacLeod. 1 month ago. Police at door once again, and where was he hiding as per usual? What a shitbag, bomb scare face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy. I seen them when I was out smoking a spliff, sitting on the doorstep all day and night weirdly watching them in my housecoat that I know I will need to wash one day. Who cares what people think? Too smashed to care. Having a ball, in fact. If only my other half knew what I was doing to them when he is away. He would probably phone the cops on me himself. Bloated Clared. Do you think they are onto the fact that each time they give the police information about us that our behavior changes? Do you think they notice that we are being drip-fed and led on what to do next? Reply. 5 bellies. Maybe just last weekend, we were told to wind our necks in as they had called the police as they could not return to the house for fear. I got a call from my handler saying, close your curtains and wind your neck in. We cannot respond to them because then the police would need to admit all their failings, and the game would be up. Reply. What next? 5 bellies. Cloudy Merc replied. Got the go-ahead toady to give it to them. So he'll keep watch and let everyone know when they go out. The boys will get them. No witnesses, then we can make up statements that they caused all the trouble. Both get sectioned and then we rob the house. Gormless replied, job done. 5 bellies and a wheelbarrow full of gusset, replied. Then I can get back to being a nightmare to the kids. Big massive hole in the head replied. Do you think they have video and audio all the way from February of every time you hammered the weens? Goosehead face replied. I hope not, otherwise I'm off to Fanny Hill. Mongol Nud replied. Yat moo. Big Bell Clared. Sorry, just having one of my twitches. Need to go and change the sheets. Bloated Ship Sinker replied. Act to hell with that, my bed sheets still have the stain from the oldest being born. Processed food, pickle-headed polyunsaturated fatty hips replied. My bed has just collapsed and the huge scab on my arm is bleeding. 5 bellies and a head full of crap replied, my bed cannot collapse. Mine is reinforced with beer cans. Scabby Buttock replied. I am going to go now as I am stuck to the carpet and the dog is sniffing at me. 5 bellies and the rest, replied I am a Mongol without a cause. Sor Ars replied. It's rebel. Vajj replied. That's right, I am a Mongol without a rebel. Novelty bumhole replied. Fuck it.